अभ्रमं भङ्गरहितं मधुरं विमलं सदा आनन्दतीर्थमतलं भजेतापत्रयापहं मिथ्या सिद्धान्तदुद्ध्वान्त विध्वंसनशिक्षणः जयतीर्थाकृतनिर्भासतां नवहृदम्बरे अर्थिकल्पितकल्पोऽयं प्रत्यत्यकृतकेसरी व्यासतीर्थगुरुर्भूयाद् अस्मिष्टातसिद्धये तपोविद्याविरक्त्यादि सद्गुणौघाकरानहं वादिराजगुरून् वन्दे ऐग्रीपदाश्रयान् पूज्याय राघवेन्द्राय सत्यधर्मरताय च भजतां कल्पवृक्षाय नमतां कामधेनवे दुर्वाध्वान्तरवे वैष्णवेन्दीवरेन्दवे श्रीराघवेन्द्रगुरुवे नमोऽत्यन्त्याळवे आपादमौलिपर्यन्तं गुरूणामाप्तं स्मरेत् तेन विघ्नाः प्रणश्यन्ति सिद्ध्यन्ति मनोरथाः हरिः ओं श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. So we are doing Vishnu Sahasranama English version today. So we'll do the first Rishi Devata Chandasu Smarane. Asya Sri Vishnu Divya Sahasranama Stotra Mahamantrasya Sri Veda Vyaso Bhagavan Rishihi Anushtup Chanda Sri Mahavishnu Paramatma Sriman Narayano Devata Sri Lakshmi Narayana Prasada Siddhatya Jape Vinyogaha. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. So we are doing we have done last class, English class, we have done Bhuta Brut. So Bhuta Krut, Bhuta Brut, they are completed. Today we will be doing Bhavaha. So this will also come in the first sloka only. Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu Bhuta Krut, Bhuta Brut Bhavo Bhutatma Bhuta Bhavana Bhutatma Paramatma Cha Muktanam Paramagatihi Avya Purushasakshi Kshetragnokshraya Vacha Yogo Yoga Vidam Neta Pradhana Purusheshwara Narasimha Pushriman Keshava Purushottamaha. So Bhutakut, Bhutaput, Bhavo, Bhavaha. So it's like short word, but it has a lot of meanings, and most of the meanings that are coming here, which we are using Sri Vidyamanya's commentary, where he has collected from various commentaries like from Vidyadhirajiya and other places. Whoever commented on Vishnu Sahasranamas, he compiled all those and also used his own knowledge of across the Shastras where it is used. And in this particular word, the meaning for bhava, he has used that bha dhatu from Yamaka Bharata of our Acharya. Our Acharya wrote 2 works on Mahabharata. One is Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya. Another one is called Yamaka Bharata. Yamaka means like a kind of a play with the verse. Like, like same pada will be repeated 4 times, but with 4 different splits, different meanings, and sometimes one word will be repeated 3-4 times, or one expression will be put in a reverse order. All kind of tricks with the language, but everything describing Lord Krishna, Mahabharata story, so praising the Lord. So very nice, wonderful work. It has 80 slokas only, not very big, not very small, kind of a medium small type of thing. So 80 slokas in that, and out of those, the 77th sloka, it is in Ushnik Chandas, which is like 28 letters. Each pada has 7 aksharas, and there are 4 padas, so 28 aksharas. So among those 28 aksharas, each akshara is same. Yamaka Bharata, I was talking about like playing with the verse. So this 77th sloka, that is in among 80, the 77th sloka, that one has only the 28, all 28 letters, same letter. And that letter is bha, long sound bha. So it's like bha, 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 bha. So only one akshara repeated 28 times, and people may have, how do we decipher the meanings for that? So for that, his direct disciple, Sri Narahari Tirtharu, he wrote a Vyakhyana commentary on that, and he has given more than 28 actually. Like, he has given about 35 meanings for that root bha. Bha means, actually, you can see in multiple, more than that also. Whatever roots he has given, that bha when you take, you can split it as bha plus a. So if you split like each bha as bha and a, then the second bha, like bha, will become like, if you take just two words, bha bha will become bha plus abha plus a. Like, so you can have bha a bha a, or bha and bha, or bha abha and then a. So bha a bha a. So multiple combinations with just two letters. So if you take kind of combine, lot of permutations, combinations will come. So the word, what does bha mean? So the dhatu pata that is among the popular dhatu pata that are available today, like standard ones, it may not have that many meanings. It has like, a few meanings only. But from various other sources, like, there are like, some which are not used, which are there in granthas, which are there defined in like special koshas, special dictionaries. So from there they collected, Sri Narahari Tirtha collected everything, and he has given bha dhatu. So what are all the meanings for bha? He has given, like, this is how he says, deeptau bha, that word, meaning that root bha dhatu has these following meanings. Deeptau jnane bha adhare bha audarya evacha sandhane cha upadane nikatatve cha kathyate bha sevyatve cha vidvadbihi urikarana evacha sampurna tati bhave bha nana bhave cha kathyate vailakshanye तथा आधिक्ये स्वातंत्रे भ उदीर्यते भ आनंदे भ संपूर्ण ततवादे च कथ्यते पूज्य भावे च विस्तारे भ विनाशन ईर्यते स्वामित्वे निश्चले भावे उग्रे उद्गान एव च सम्मोहने अथ संचारे भ विदारण ईर्यते आलोचने भ औदार्य इति सर्वविद ईरितम. Of course, instead of going each one of those meanings are used while giving the meaning for bhava. So as we see the meanings for the word bhava, we are going to use the using this commentary of Narahari Tirtharu. We are going to use that in deciphering the meanings for bhava. So Paramatma is called bhava. So remember, in the beginning I told the Sahasranama, 1000 names, not just the names, they also correspond to 1000 forms of the Lord, and also they correspond to gunas, kriyas of Paramatma. So that has those special meanings. So we'll see that one. So for example, bhu dhatu, bhava, bha, bhavati, like we say bhavati, saha bhavati, bhava. So from bha dhatu, bhu, bhava, so that will come. So bhu means to create or come into existence. Bhava, so from that bhu dhatu, if you take bhava, bhavati, so bhavati, bhu, bhavati, so that bhu dhatu, so apart from bha dhatu, so the meaning that Narahari Tirtharu gave was for bha dhatu. And along with that, bhu dhatu, when it gets kind of transformation, it becomes bhava. So in addition to those bha meanings, that bhu dhatu meanings also help. So that bhu dhatu, from that bhavati, so that those meanings will come. So like bhavana, like bhu bhavanam, bhu bhavanam means like bhava, bhavana means like existence. Come into existence, it becomes creation. Continue in existence, it becomes sthiti. Removing the existence, it becomes samhara. So this bhava can mean all three. So srishti, sthiti, samhara. So Paramatma, Vishnu, for Vishnu it is saying bhava, he is bhavaha. That means he is srishtikarta, sthitikarta and layakarta. But lot of popular belief is like Brahma is the srishtikarta and Shiva is the samharakarta. So Vishnu is only sthitikarta. This kind of a misconception is there. But this one is clarifies that. I mean, of course, a lot of places we get the clarifications. Paramatma, like Brahma Sutras, it says Janmadyasya Om. So all the Ashtavida Vyaparas are done by Vishnu Rupi Paramatma. But how come that Brahma is Srishtikarta, Shiva Layakarta? Are they false? Means they're not false, but they are not Swatantra Srishtikarta, Swatantra Layakartas. Of course, Brahma does the Srishti of this entire Brahmanda, but he says when when he was created through that Nabhi Kamala, Lord Vishnu orders him, okay, you do the Srishti Karya. He says, but I don't know what to do. Don't worry, when you think of doing it, I am inside you as Brahma, and I will do that. From inside you I will do it. So Brahma is doing, but with the help of Antaryami Paramatma, Vishnu. So the Swatantra Srishtikarta is Narayana, and Aswatantra Srishtikarta is Brahma. So same way Swatantra Samharakarta is Narayana, Aswatantra Samharakarta is Rudra. So this is how it goes. So that Srishti Sthiti Layakarta is implied by this Bhavaha. So, and that is mentioned in other Puranas also. Brahmani, Brahmaruposav, Sivarupi, Shivestitaha. He is there inside Brahma as a Brahma Rupa, in the name of the Brahma, and inside Shiva is with the name Shiva Rupa. So that is mentioned in Puranas also. So this way the Bhava represents that Vishnu is Srishti Sthiti Laya Karta. That's one meaning. And then the second meaning is Bhavaha, means one who Bhavati, Sarvada Bhavati, Bhava be existing, one who exists at all times. But even Jiva also exists at all times. So what is special about Paramatma existing all times? But Jiva goes through a process of body bearing and going a body, getting out of the body. Paramatma, he never does. He's he never bears a body. He's Swarupa, Swagata Bheda Vivarjita. So he exists at all times without any vikara. Vikara rahitatvena sarvada asti. Sarvada bhavati. So he exists at all times without any vikara or mutation, any alteration. Mutation does not take place in him. And for jivas also, jiva itself does not undergo mutation, but it has what is called dehadharana. Paramatma does not even do a dehadharana. But then question comes in avatars like Rama, Krishna, Parshurama, he has done dehadharana. He took up body, right? So, but there he appeared, but he did not take any prakruta deha. He came along with Swarupa deha, but Swarupa deha is not visible. So how come the Lord was visible during avataras? So because he was visible, because he ordered Durga to do that, and he decided, his Ichha. So Achintya Adbhuta Shakti, he can make himself, even though he is not visible, wherever he is there, he can make himself visible to people as he wills. So he has Aghatana Ghatana Patu Samartha. So that's why he made himself visible. That's why even though he is a Prakruta, he was appearing as if people see him. People see him coming, going, moving, everything. So he does not have any he's Sarvantaryami. How can he move from place to place? But he can move from place to place because he wills to do that. So that's why he is there without any vikara at all times. That's why he is Sarva Kaleshu Asti. So that's why Bhavati. And another one is Bhava, Bhavayati. So Bhavayati means Prakashayati. So he gives the Prakasha to all the living beings. That means one is makes all the jivas perform, act. So that way he is like Bhavayati, he makes the jivas function. So that's why he's Bhavayati, one thing. Or in another meaning is, he is all the glowing things, like for example, the sun, the moon, the fire, everything that gives prakasha, whether swatantra or aswatantra rupena, it gives prakasha. That means sun himself shines, so moon is a reflected light. No matter what it is, even they are not swatantra, Lord makes them give the light. So he is the one who makes them give the light. So he is Bhava, Bhavayati, Prakashayati. And he himself is Prakasha Sarupa, Bhavayati, Bha, we saw that Bha Deepto, Prakasha Rupatva. So he is Bha, Deepti, Prakashavanta, and Va Balam. Va Balam iti. So Bha and Va. Split it into two words, Bha plus Va. Bha means Deepto, Prakashane. So he is a Prakasha Swarupi, and he is also Balaswarupi. He has this enormous, infinite amount of strength. So it's Vabayor Abhedaha, Valam Balam. Valam also Balam. Both means strength. So he is infinite strength. He has infinite strength. That's why it's Prakasharupi and Balaswarupi. So Bhavaha. And also Bha Jnane. We saw one of that Bha Jnane. So he is Jnana Swarupa. So he is Jnana Swarupa and Balaswarupa. That's another meaning. Or Bha is plus Ava. Instead of Bha plus Uva, split it as Bha plus Ava. Bha Prakasha Swarupas are Jnana Swarupas, who are the one, the liberated beings. Bhaha Tan Avati. Bhan Avati iti Bhavaha. So Mukta Swarupas, who are all their liberated souls, he protects them. He does the Rakshana of Mukta Jivas. That's why it's Bhava, Bhan Avati iti Bhavaha. So our Jagat Utpadaka, he is Bhavayeti. So Jagat, so Bhava, whatever exists, everything that exists is Bhava, the universe. So that Bhava, so he makes that universe exist, come into existence. So Jagat Utpadaka. So that meaning, so Bhavayeti, Jagat Utpadayeti, in creator of the universe. That's another meaning. And then Kanti Prada. So Bha Kanti. So Kanti Deepto. So Kanti Prada. So he is Kanti Prada. Kanti Prada means whatever things are there in this world. The Kanti can be a Prakasha Rupa Kanti. The Kanti can be Jiva's activities. All those, everything, whatever is there, he gives the Kanti Pradayakatva Shakti is there in him. That's why it's Kanti Prada. And then another meaning is Bhava. So this one is Bha Adharaha Bhavati iti Bha Adhara Bhave, one of the roots is saying. And Avati Rakshate Avarakshane. So if it says Bha, he is Adhara and Avarakshaka. So one who is support, he gives the support to the entire, so supporter, nourisher, sustainer of this universe, and Rakshaka, protector of the universe. So Bha plus Ava. So Bha plus Ava, that is the meaning. And then another meaning is Bhati Udara, Bha Udare, Audarye, we saw that one of the dhatus. So Bha Audarya, so Avati Shunoti. So Bha Audarye, so Avati Shunoti. So Bhaktanam Avadharana means, so one is Audarya and Avadharana. So he is very Udara Swarupa, generous to the Bhaktas and protects them. Or he is Avadharana, he listens to the Prarthane of the Bhaktas, devotees. So he listens to the Prarthane in a very generous way. I mean, he is so generous that he listens to the prayers of his devotees. That's why he's Audarya, and he listens, Shunoti, Avati Shunoti, listening, Ava Rakshane, Ava, so Shravane, so Avati Shunoti, so Bhaktanam Prarthanam Shunoti, one who listens to the prayers of his devotees. That's why he is Bhavaha. That's another meaning. And then another meaning is we saw Bha Sandhane. One of the meanings we saw in among the roots, like Naradita Vyakhyana, Bha Sandhane. So Sandhana, what does Sandhana mean? So Avati Swami Bhavati iti. Ava means one, Swami Bhava. Swami Bhava means Lord. Swami, we call the Swami, the best closest meaning in English will be probably the Lord of the Lord. So he is Swami Bhava, he is the Lord of the universe, and he does the Bha, Samyodana, Sandhana or Samyogana. So that's why it's called Bha Sandhane means, Sandhana Samyojana means in this universe you have all the planets, we see in the sky, we see so many planets, we see so many stars, we see so many celestial bodies. In fact, it's so vast universe that from some of the celestial bodies, the light has been traveling. Imagine the light travels in 1 light year. It travels an amount of distance that's several millions of miles. It travels in 1 second. And for hundreds of thousands of years, the light has been traveling from some distant celestial bodies which are not even in our galaxy, maybe in the next galaxy. So they are traveling in the space and they have not yet reached us. That's why we can't even see that star. Like some of the stars we don't see because the light from those stars have not yet reached the earth, though they have been traveling for so many years. In 1 second, it can travel an amount of distance equal to the distance traveled by in one light in 1 year. So that much it can travel. So so in 1 year, whatever light can travel, that light year distance, so many light years away they are. So the light has been traveling for several years and it has not yet reached the earth. That many celestial bodies are there in the sky. But in spite of so many bodies being there, and even our own planet, the planet system that we have, they are going in around the sun, and they are not hitting against each other. They are there at their proper distances, and they are going in their own path at particular speed without hitting against each other. So is that the samyojana or sandhana, making all the planets and the stars and the celestial bodies stay in their own respective places. If you take our solar system, all the planets are moving around the sun. The sun is stationary as far as our solar system is concerned. But even the sun is moving. If we take the whole galaxy, it is moving inside the galaxy, and our galaxy itself is moving in the creation. So in that sense, everything in this whole celestial system, they are all moving, the bodies are all moving, but all of them are being held and supported by the Lord in such a fashion that they do not hit against each other. So he does that samyojana, sandhana, that bearing and putting the planets in their respective places. So this bha, sandhana, and our swamitva, he is doing, that's why he's called bhava. That's another meaning. And then he is also bhava. So what does he do? Bhati adatteti bha adane avati dadati iti avadane. So bha means adana, taking, avadana, giving. The Lord takes from us something and gives back something to us. What does he take from us? He takes from us whatever belongs to him itself. But even that, whatever we give, patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhakta prayachati ashnami tadaham ashnami bhaktya prayatatmanaha. So the Lord says, whatever is offered to me, that I accept. And then in return, he gives us so many things. Like we say, oh, Lord has not given me that, Lord has not given me this. This entire body, which we love so much, he has given this body. So many, he has given us lifespan. He has given us the strength. He has given us existence. So many things he has given us. So what we give to the Lord is whatever belongs to him. Out of that also we give very little. And we give means we are not actually giving. We are thinking that we are giving to the Lord. But just what are we giving is just the bhakti, devotion. We are saying, oh Lord, I am giving whatever belongs to you, I am giving to you. With that anusandhana we offer to the Lord, and in return the Lord gives so many things to us. So that is how generous Karunarasa he is. That's why is bha ava. Bha adana, he takes from us. Ava dana, he gives back to us. He takes from us nothing, basically, nothing. But all that we are thinking that we are giving to him is bhakti. Even that, it is through his grace only. So, but in return, he gives us so much. That's why he is bhavaha. So this is what, this thought should increase the amount of bhakti we should show it to him. So that's bha. So that's the thing. Another one is he is worshipped by all his devotees, and the way is this: bhayate sevyate iti bha sevyatve avati prinati iti avaha. So he is worshipped by us, and then he loves us. So he makes us, he is staying inside us, he is making us serve him, and then he loves us back. So we are not really doing anything. He is making us serve him, and he is in return, he loves us so much. So this is the amount of grace he is showing. So bhavyati, so bhavyate, sevyate, so bhayate, bhayate, sevyate iti bhaha, and then avati prinati. So this is what bhavaha, another meaning. And then there's another one, he said bhati. Bhati means uri karoti, uri karane. Uri Karna means what? Uri Karna, Uras means heart. Uri Karna means, accept. You say your heart says yes. So whatever you give it to him, he agrees with it, accepts. He is accepting. The Kannada word is opkoltane. So he accepts, he agrees, he accepts, he's swikara, he does a swikara. So this accepting, he does that. And then what he does, he gives in return the jnana for us. So Urikarana, so avagamane, so gamane jnane. So he avagantavyam, so he accepts whatever we tell him, we prayers, whatever we do, he accepts, and then in return he gives us the knowledge, jnana. So that's why he's bhavaha. So that's another one. And then bha nana rupa dharana. So bha nana rupo bhavati. So bhati nana rupo bhavati. So another meaning that in Narahari Tirtha gave, bha nana bhave. Avati pravishati, ava praveshane. So nana bhava, so in bha ava, bha nana rupa, nana bhava, and ava praveshana. So that means he takes infinite number of forms, he enters our body. He takes infinite forms, he enters so many objects in the world. Infinite forms enters each interacting entities. So this way he is doing nana rupa bhava. Infinite number of forms, infinite number of entries, infinite number of places he enters, and he does infinite number of activities. So this extraordinary task is done by him. That's why he is bhavaha. So bha nana rupa bhava and ava praveshana. So that's what he does. So tatsushva tadevan pravishat, Upanishad also, this entire universe he created, zillions of things, and he entered those zillions of things. That's what he does. And also another is like, he is like adhika. So bha adhikye, so bha vilakshane. So vilakshanatva, that means he is extraordinary. Vilakshana, lok bhati vilakshano bhavati. So vilakshana means what? He is unique. He's totally different from all the rest. Advitiya, that's why it's called. Vilakshana, totally different from everything else. Unique. So that's why it is bhati, vilakshano bhavati. So avati pravishati, ava praveshe. And also ava apnoti also, and bha adhiko bhavati also. That means adhika, he is greater than everybody else. He becomes adhika, greater than everything else. So adhiko bhavati, and then ava is like, praveshna is one thing. Ava also apnoti, that means obtain. That means what is that? He obtains us. That means he takes us in. He gets to us. He reaches us. He reaches out to us. So he apnoti. He reaches out to us. So he obtains us. That's what he said. And then bhati swatantro bhavati. Bha swatantre. Avati swami bhavati. He is swami. He is Lord. And how is he Lord? Because of his swatantra bhava. He is swatantra. He is independent, non-dependent on anybody else. He is self-dependent, and swatantra, self-dependent. And that way he is a swami, Odaya, Lord of everything in this universe. Java, Jada, Chetana. Everything is under his control. So that's another meaning. And another one is bhavayati, anandayati. He is like bliss giver. He gives the bliss to everybody. Bhavati, bhavayati, anandayati. He gives joy, happiness, bliss to all the jivas. So that's why he is bhavaha. That's another meaning. Anande. So that's another meaning. And in another one is, he is ananda avati hinasti. So for undeserving people, he takes out ananda also. Hinasti. So one is ananda hinasti, takes away ananda, or bhati hinasti, takes separate words. He gives bliss to all the deserving moksha arha jivas. Hinasti, takes away the sukha to all the tamo yogya jivas. So both you can take it as separate, or each one is one meaning, like, in one way you can say that bhava is one who gives ananda and protects all the mukti yogya jivas, one meaning. Or bha ananda hinasti, he takes away ananda from all tamo yogya jivas, another meaning. Or bha and va avati hinasti. So together, if you take the same word at a time, can meaning gives bliss to mukti yogya jivas and gives tamas or dukkha to ayogya jivas. So this meaning also can be taken. So there are a lot more meanings are there. So I am pausing here so that any questions are there, feel free to ask questions. Hare Srinivasa, Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Bangaraitam Ajadam Yamlam Sada Anandatirthamatlam Bhajeetaptrayapaham Mitya Siddhanta Dudhvanta Vidvamshna Sakshna Jaititakatanir Bhasatam no Hrudambare Artikapitakalpoyam Pratyatthikata Kesari Vyasatit Gurur Bhuyad Asmadishtata Siddhi Tapo Vidya Viraktiyadi Sadgunoga Karanham Vajraja Gurun Vande Ekriprashyahan Pujya Raghavendraya Satyadharmanataya Bhasatam Kalparukshaya Namatam Kamadhenave दुर्वादिध्वांतरवये वैष्णवेन्दीवरेन्दवे श्री राघवेन्द्रगुरुवे नमो अत्यन्तयाळवे आपादमणिपर्यन्तं गुरूणामाप्तं स्मरेत् तेन विघ्नाः प्रणश्यन्ति सिद्ध्यन्ति च मनोरथाः हरिः ओं श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. We are doing English session for Vishnu Sahasranama, so I'll just mention the Rishi Devata Chandasva and proceed. Asya Sri Vishnor Divya Sahasranama Stotra Mahamantrasya श्री वेदव्यासो भगवान् ऋषिः अनुष्टुप् छन्दः श्री महाविष्णु परमात्मा श्रीमन्नारायणो देवता श्री लक्ष्मीनारायण प्रसाद सिद्ध्यते जपे विनियोगः. हरिः ओं श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. ओं नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओं विश्वस्मै नमः. विश्वं विष्णुर्वषट्कारो भूतभव्य भवत्प्रभुः भूतकृद्भूतभृद्भावो भूतात्मा भूतभावनः भूतात्मा परमात्मा च मुक्तानां परमागतिः अव्ययपुरुषसाक्षी क्षेत्रज्ञोऽक्षर एव च योगो योगविदां नेता प्रधानपुरुषेश्वरः नारसिंहः पुष्यमान् केशवः पुरुषोत्तमः. So here we have done bhutakrut bhutabhrut. Now we are doing bhavaha. We did a few meanings for that. We will continue for this one. For seeing the meanings of bhava, I know like when we are seeing so many meanings for each of the nama, it is a little bit confusing, but the purpose is to understand that each of these names of the Lord Vishnu, it's not meant to be just some kind of a name alone. Along with the name, some kind of a rupa chintana, Guna Chintana, Kriya Chintana. So 1000 names means each of the name, Nama, will it have only one Rupa or will it have multiple Rupas? Means it is like a triangular structure. If you take name as the tip of the top of the triangle, one name can have, as you know, at least 100 meanings. So it can have even more, but at least 100 meanings. But we are not, it's not listed anywhere. Acharya mentioned that it's for Yogya Jivis, Adhikaris, they can easily see 100 meanings. And Acharya demonstrated also by giving the meanings. And the reason why it is not listed is because we will be, ordinary people like us will not be able to handle that. So that's why only certain sample is given. But for some of the words, we can actually see a lot of meanings. For some of the words, we saw only 10 or 12 meanings. But for this word bhava, one of the bases for that is for each of the name, Sri Vidyamanya Tirtharu, he made the definitions. So where are these definitions coming from? A lot of these definitions come from various parts of Vedas or Itihasa or Purana or other Smriti Granthas, and for them the basis again is Dhatu Pathas and certain standard Dhatu Kosha. Just as we have dictionaries for words, for nouns, we have dictionaries for verbs which are called Dhatu, root of the verb. So there are Dhatu Koshas, Dhatu Pathas. So using them, we are trying to see our own effort we are making based upon the book that has been printed. But actually in some places I am going beyond whatever is mentioned in the book, because whatever anusandhana that we can do, the manana that we can do, we can come up with a lot of meanings. So basically one name can have any number of 1000 arthas, 100 meanings, and in 100 meanings, each meaning, can have multiple rupas again. So in each rupa, you can have multiple guna anusandhana. In each guna, multiple kriya. Because as Rama, for example, you take the word Rama. As Rama, lot of meanings are there. And all these meanings can be applied for Sri Rama himself. Or it can be applied for Vyakruti Rupa. That means not only Rama Avatara, but the name is used like Vyakruti Rupas or other Rupas or Varna Pradimatruka Rupas. So other places also the word Rama comes. So, but it applies to the same Lord, of course, not a different Rama. The same Lord, but a different Rupa Anusandhana. Like, Rama is like, he took the Manava Avatara with 2 hands, but in Vyakrita Rupas, he will have 4 hands. So he can have like multiple ways of Rama Anusandhana. That means it's not actually the Rama Avatara itself, but the Rupa meditation or thinking about it, and then gunas, and then kriyas, so many kriyas. If you take even Rama Avatara itself, he has performed so many kriyas. So at each of his kriyas, when you think of that, the Lord appearance during that kriya, we can, for example, when he's fighting in the war, Rama with his Parakrama Pradarshana, that Rupa we can think of. Or when Rama is with Kausalya, how he is a Saumya Rupa, pleasing his mother, how he is, we can think of that form. So with the same Avatara Rupa, we can think about multiple ways. So that means in one name, you can think of multiple meanings and multiple Rupas, and each of them we can think of multiple Gunas, and in each of Guna, we can think of multiple Kriyas. So that means Nama, Rupa, Guna, Kriya, multiple possibilities can exist for one name itself. So with this understanding, we continue the meanings for the word Bhava. For that, one of the things that we are using as per the guidance of Sri Vidyamana is that Bha Dhatu definition given by Sri Narahari Tirtharu in Yamaka Bharata, that Ekakshara Sloka. Bha 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 Bha. So for that we saw like Bha, the Dhatu definitions that Sri Narahari Tirtharu gave, like for example Diptau, Kanti, Kanto. So like that he gave the Dhatu patas like for different meanings for Bha, Bha Diptau, Gnane, Bha Adhare, Bha Bha Udare, so like that we saw that. So and even that all of them are not covered here, like we are covering about maybe like 60-70%. So there are others which are not covered, and even the ones that are covered, we saw certain possible meanings. There are more possible meanings for even according to the list of dhatus that are given. So it's just overwhelming, but still we enjoy the glories of the Lord thinking about it, how they are kind of listed here. So last class we saw Bha Swatantra Bhavane. So Bha is Swatantro Bhavati, Bhati Swatantro Bhavati. So and Avati Swami. So Avati, so as a Lord, he is Swatantra, self-dependent, and also he is the Lord of the universe. So both are conveyed by Bha Avaha, Bhavaha, that we saw. And then we also were started like for Bhava. So we can split it in multiple ways. Another way is Bha Avati. So Bhati, Bhavayati, Bha Anande. And then Avati is Antarhita Nich. They say Avati Hinasti. That means Ava Himsayam. So that means this we can see, like many ways, but just I'll give you a sample of 3 ways. Sajjanas, Lord gives Ananda to Sajjanas, and then Hinasti removes the dukkha, removes the sorrows, removes the diseases, removes the problems for Sajjana. So both Bha and Ava, both we can apply for Lord's devotees, Sajjanas, Bhaktas. So he does Bha, Ava, Bhati, Anandayati, gives happiness or bliss to the Sajjanas and removes their sorrows, their diseases, their problems, their sins, all that we can say Bha Ava, both for Sajjanas. Or both we can use for Durjanas. Lord, what is this? Bha Ananda Hinasti, kills or removes. That means he does not give bliss to Tamoyogya Jivas. For Durjana, Tamoyogya Jivas, he removes the Ananda for them. That means their basic Swarupa Dukkha, he makes that come out. So even if they get some Laukika Ananda, in this world they may get some happiness, but Swarupa Ananda is not there. So eventually he will remove that Ananda for them. So is it all right? That is impartial way of behavior of a God. The Swarupa, whatever is there in Swarupa, that's what the Lord has to grant. So the Swarupa Dukkha, so he removes the Ananda for them. So for Durjanas, he's Ananda Removaka. So he removes Ananda. So Ananda he removes. So that's why he's called Bha Ava Hinasti. So Anandam Hinasti. So that's for Durjanas. Or we can think about it, Bha for Sajjanas and Ava for Durjanas. That means Avati Himsayam. So Ava Himsayam. So what we do say is Bha Ananda Prada for Sajjanas, Avati Hinasti Durjanas. That means same word for both Sajjanas and Durjanas. The first part for Sajjanas and second part for Durjanas. So this is how, with the same dhatus, we can think about it multiple ways. With the same dhatu meaning, with the same interpretation, and for different type of jivas, how the Lord performs the activities, his kriyas and gunas with respect to different types of jivas. So that is bha, ava, bhavaha. Then another thing is, he is like we saw in Dvasha Stotra, Vaikuntasya khila veda udgiryante anisham yataha. So the Lord is reciting the Vedas at all times. Why? Because he is the preserver of the Vedas. So in Mahapralaya time, there is nobody who is practicing Vedas, but Vedas are preserved. How they are preserved? The Lord recites at all times, whether Pralaya, Sushti, Stitikala, eternally in one form, the Lord is reciting the Vedas. So that's why I say Vaikuntasya akhila Veda udgiryante anisham yataha, from whom eternally, continually the Vedas are getting recited. But what has that to do with bhava? So bha is like, bha, one of the meanings is santata patane. So one of the dhatu meanings bha, santata patane, always reciting. So avati avagachyati, avagamana means understanding. So the Lord is the one who knows all the meanings of the Vedas, because the Vedas extol him itself. The Vedas sing the glory of the God. And Lord, as the maintainer of the Vedas, at Sarvajna, he is all-knower, omniscient. So he knows everything. So he knows about himself. He knows about all the Vedas. So avati avagamyate. So avati, he knows. So avagamana. So he knows all the Vedas, and also he does the nitya patana. Bhati, nitya patanam karoti, avati, janati. So he recites the Vedas eternally, and also he knows all the Vedas. So that is another meaning for bhavaha. And so another meaning, bhavaha means bha pujya bha, pujane. So bha pujyatve, he is pujya, that means worship worthy. The most worship worthy is the Lord, is the most. So bhati pujyo bhavati iti bha. So he is the most worship worthy. And avati trupyati, he is always happy. So he is the most pujya, and he is the nitya trupta, and there is nothing that makes him gives him extra satisfaction. He is trupta by himself without any external needs, external assistance. He doesn't need anything to make him happy. He is always eternally happy. But we do sankalpa so many times. We say Sri Vishnu Prityartham, we say. So for the sake of pleasing the Lord, I am doing this sankalpa. So that means we are making him more happy, we are making him more satisfied. How? Means it is not the way we think. It is not making him more happy, but his prityartha means may Lord be pleased with us. So that means it is our application like. So we are telling the Lord, oh Lord, I am doing something and please accept this. So it is praying the Lord to accept our services. So it's a different. It is not that we are making him happier. It's not that we are making him more satisfied. That's not what exactly it means. It means we're not changing any of his mental dispositions. So the Lord is beyond everything. He is nirlepa. So he is not looking for any of that. So we are his nitya trupta. So here this bha is talking about the worshipworthiness. Ava is talking about his ever happy, being nitya trupta. So that's what bhavaha. And then another meaning for bhava is bhavayati vistarayati. So he is vistarayati. That means making it expand. What is it making expand? Vistarayati, he expands. Bhati vistarayati. Avati swami bhavati. So he expands and he is the Lord. What does he expand? So the universe is expanding, ever expanding. So he expands, he creates the world, he creates this universe and makes it expand. So he makes the universe expand. So that's why he's bhati vistarayati, making the universe expand. So this vistarayati we can also use with the same dhatu with other meanings. Vistarayati. What does he vistarayati? He expands the knowledge of his devotees. He makes their knowledge grow. So he makes the knowledge of his devotees expand. So that's also vistarayati. So vistarayati, he makes the mukhya prana vayu. So in pramana we see kramena vardhamanam. The vritti jnana of Ruji yogis is ever expanding. So the Lord makes the jnana of the Ruji yogis expand completely, like until amuktehe, till the moksha, till they reach moksha, he makes the vritti jnana expand. So that is also vistarayati. So that's another meaning. So the vistarayati itself we can apply different ways. So that's why bhavaha, that's another meaning. And then bhava, he is like bha is nischala bhava. He is like unswerving, nischala bhava, that means firm. He is bha nischala bhave avati trupyati. So the same trupya truptitva we can keep. Or trupyati means through his nischala bhava he remains trupta. Nischala bhava means firm, unshaken. Because he is unshaken, he has the trupta, nitya truptatva. Why God has nitya trupti? Because nothing shakes him, nothing disturbs him, no disturbance. So that means unperturbed. One who is unperturbed is nitya trupta. Because of his nischala bhava, he is nitya trupta. So bhavaha means nischala bhavatvena nitya truptaha. So that is bhavaha. So that's another meaning. And then bhavaha we saw like bha ugra. So bha ugra bhave. So that's another dhatu. We say bha ugra bhave avati hinasti avahimsaya. So we had Nrsimha Jayanti, so we can, and Vedavyasa Jayanti, so we can apply this meaning bhava for both Nrsimha and Vedavyasa. For Nrsimha, bha ugra rupa. So by being the ugra rupa, that means ugra swabhava. Why the swabhavatva he is exhibiting, he is showing ugra rupa. And samhara rupa. Why ugra rupa? To punish the evil ones, dushta samharartham. So for dushtas, he is showing the ugra rupa. That means for killing or destroying the dushtas. Why is he destroying the dushtas? He is the protector of all, so he not protect the evil ones as well? No, because the evil ones are affecting the good ones. When the evil ones are evil by themselves and do not bother anybody, then it's a different story. But the very nature of the evil ones is they torment the good ones, and the Lord protects the good ones. That means the only way he can protect the good ones is by punishing the evil ones. So that's why he is impartial. He gives out the fruits as per their actions. So the evil ones, they deserve to be punished. So that's why Lord punishes them, not because he has any personal vendetta against him. There is no personal vendetta for Lord. He does everything as nirlipta. That means he is not tainted by anything, not attached to anything. So as Narasimha Rupa, he punishes the evil ones and helps the good ones. So this Ugra Rupa is applicable to Nrsimha Avatara. So that means each of these meanings is applicable to certain meanings, to certain forms of the Lord only. Not really. You can even think about this Ugratva even for Vedavyasa. How? Because Vedavyasa, he does not destroy like people like Ravana or whatever. No, that kind of samhara karya, he did not do it, or Hiranyakashipu or so. But Vedavyasa, what he does is he can be Ugra to our antarshatrus, the inner enemies that are there like Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. The inner 6 enemies are there, Arishad Varga. Vedavyasa can take Ugra Swarupa and destroy these evil enemies that are within us in the form of Ajnana and ignorance. Vedavyasa is the one who can remove our ignorance by punishing these inner enemies of us. So that's why that Ugra Swarupa can also be thought about in case of Vedavyasa, so that where he destroys our inner enemies. So in Vedavyasa, so that means in any form of the Lord, any of these gunas, any of these meanings can be applied. So it becomes even more complicated. So if that is the case, what is the point in going through each form and thinking about it, applying one guna for one form? Why? Means that is for the convenience of our meditation, our thinking about the Lord. We can think of one form at a time, one guna at a time, one kriya at a time, one nama at a time. That is our limitation. So by giving all these possibilities, at any point of time, at a time, we think of one nama, one rupa, one guna and one kriya, and this gives us flexibility that we can pick up any nama, any rupa, any guna, any kriya, as long as we can connect that within our ability or limitations. So we think of that nama, that rupa, that guna and that kriya, and we close our eyes and try to meditate upon the Lord by thinking about that nama, that rupa, that guna and that kriya. So all these meanings that we are going through, all this exercise is to enable us how to concentrate, meditate upon the Lord by thinking about a particular name, particular form, rupa, and particular quality, guna, and particular kriya, particular actions. So this is to make it easier for us. So that's why whether we think of Vedavyasa, so which form, like the question pops up, okay, we hear this name Bhavaha. When we say Bhava, which form of the Lord should we think? Should we think of Narasimha? Should we think of Vedavyasa? Or should we think of a different form where we talked about like other meanings we talked about? For example, one of the meanings is like, Santatam Chintet Kantam. So Nitya Veda Ucharana Rupa. So we think of some Virat Swarupa, where he's standing and reciting Vedas. Which one should we think? Any of that is fine. Once we can do one time, we can think about Virat Swarupa reciting the Vedas. Another time we can think of Vedavyasa and Vedavyasa Jnana Swarupi, we can think of that. Another time we can think of Narasimha Rupa and Narasimha Rupa punishing the evil ones. So we don't have to always say, okay, Bhava means we should think of only this form. That restriction is not there. We can think at different times, whatever our mood, our situation is there at that time. We are in difficulties, like, like Mahamari, thinks some big thing is going on, how Narasimha Rupi, he can protect us from that Mahamari. We can think of that in that form. So that is entirely left to us, how we think about, meditate upon the Lord. And then another meaning that we can think of is like he is Sammohana. So Bha Sammohane, that's another meaning. So Sammohana means he gives Mohana, Mohaka Shakti, like we say Asura Mohana, for example, Lord gives the Asura Mohana, Sammohana Shakti. So he is Sammohaka. So that's why Bhati Sammohati Avayati Avapayati, makes them reach. So that means for evil ones, he puts them in delusion, brings them delusion, and makes them attain a state that is befitting to them, like make them go to Anatamas. So Tamo Yogya Jivas, like Kalipurushas. So why God punishes Kalipurusha? Because Kalipurusha during his entire time period, he did so much of sadhane. What kind of sadhane? Tamas sadhane. So whatever sadhane he did, he has to get the fruits for that. So that's why he gives the sammohana, that means delusion, to the evil ones and makes them reach their appropriate place. Whatever is fitting to them, he gives the sammohana. So the sammohana should we apply only to good ones, evil ones, or can we apply it to good ones also? Is it possible that Lord does sammohana to good ones also? Yes, in a good way he can do it. For example, Yashoda, he showed Brahmanda in his mouth to Yashoda and made her, kind of sammohana. And like she thinks, oh my God, this is not my son, this is my Lord. And immediately he brings that layer of his Maya and makes her think, oh, he laughs it out. And then he says, oh, this is my own son, my own Krishna, little Krishna. Because that Ananda, Matru Ananda, mother's joy, the Lord wanted to give to her because she deserved, they did tapas for that, and that's a kind of a joy. It's a alaukika Ananda that Lord wanted to give it to Yashoda. So he does a sammohana there, a different kind of sammohana, puts her a kind of a maya to her and makes her think that Krishna is just her son. So gives her joy and makes her reach eventually the moksha. So avati, avapayati. So makes her kind of, think him as only ordinary her own son and then give her joy and eventually make her reach her own destination, a good destination. So he can do this sammohana and avapayati, making them reach their appropriate destination for good people also, where he makes the good people reach their muktasthana. So avapayati, make them reach the muktasthana. So this can also be applied for good people as well. So that's what is called sammohana. So it can be applied for good people also. So for ayogyas, he does one kind of a sammohana and takes them to one kind of place. For good people, he does a different kind of sammohana and takes them to a different kind of place. So this is what it is. And then another meaning for bha is chedana, bhedana, bha chedane. So bhati vidarayati, vidarane, bha vidarane is one of the dhatus. So bha vidarane, so he tears apart. What does he vidarane? What does he tear? What does bhedana? Means for bad people, he tears them apart and then he gives them avapayati, tamosthanam avapayati. So he tears them apart and makes them reach tamosthana. For good people, vidarayati. He tears apart. What does he tear apart for good people? He tears apart their ahankara granthi. Through his aparoksha darshana, he gives aparoksha darshana to good people, and through that he makes their sanchita agami karmas, tears them apart, or he tears apart their ahankara granthi, their arrogance, their haughtiness, whatever is left out as a kind of a leftover, as good people as a bandhaka for them, as a pratibandha for them, as an obstacle for them. He removes that ahankara granthi and makes the good people also progress through this. That's why he is vidarana. So he does vidarana and then avapayati, make them reach like good people, good thing that through vidarana does benefits them and they make them moksha. For bad people, he does the vidarana, he destroys them, or he destroys whatever good thing. If they get good thoughts, he tears them apart, the good parts, and gives them bad parts only, because that's what they are very natural with. So that's why that vidarana can be taken appropriately for good people or bad people, and avapayati, the reaching, making them reach their destination, that also we can take appropriately for good people and bad people accordingly. So for good people, the mokshasthana, for bad people, tamosthana. So we can take it in the same way. And then bha is also means, so sundaratva. So bhati is sundaratva. Bhati sundaro bhavati. Bha sundara bhave. So avati is alingana. So this is another meaning that we can see. Alingana. So he is sundara murti and he does alingana. So when we think of this meaning, we say, oh, this is possible only for Lakshmi. No, it's for all the jivas. How? Means the Lord in Shushupti, the deep sleep, the Shastra says the Lord refreshes the jivas in deep sleep. He does the alingana of the jivas. So the Alingana Rupa, Jivas, when it does Alingana, for the Jivas, what happens is they get refreshed. So that's why after a deep sleep, like, a dreamless sleep, then we get so, oh my God, I had such a wonderful sleep. We feel so refreshed. That refreshing effect will come because the Lord does the Alingana of all the Jivas. So this Sundaramurti Rupena Alingana, the Lord gives to all the people. So Sundara Bhave, Sundara Bhave, Avati Alingati. So this is applicable to all the Jivas. We can Ava Alingane. So this we can, so Avati Alingati, we can apply for all the Jivas. In Shishupti Dashe, he does that for all the Jivas. So this way it is Bhati, this thing we can think about that in that way. And then there are a couple of things that we come to our mind. So I'll just mention that this Guna Anusandhanam as we are doing, these are all extolling the qualities of the Lord. Samhara Kartutabha, Samhara Karya we are seeing, but how can the Samhara, that is killing everything, destroying everything. In Mahapralaya, he destroys the entire universe. How can that, we can think about it as a Guna? How can we think about that as a very great quality of the Lord? How to think about it means, even this Sarva Samhara, Pralaya Samhara Kala, think about it this way. So the Jivas, nothing happens to Jivas. They are all eternal. They are all no destruction. The body, we are developing attachment for the body, and the Sushti, Sthiti, Laya, God is doing these activities, and we are having the birth, death, sadhana. So the Jivas, they do for Janma after Janma after Janma, several Janmas, they do sadhana. They are so tired, they cannot do sadhana anymore. So the Lord does the Yoga Nidra. That means the Nidra, Yoga Nidra is nothing but Lord stops this Sushti Sthiti Laya Karya and puts everybody into a kind of a deep sleep, like we enjoy the Sushupti, Gardha Nidra. That time, that's a different kind of Sushupti, that's a Gardha Nidra. All the Jivas, they're so tired, and maybe that's a favor that Lord is doing for all the Jivas by putting them in deep sleep so that they are kind of, people may think it's the coma state. It's not like a coma state. It may be like, similar than people they say because they're not doing activities, but we don't know what exactly that state is. But the Lord is doing to help the Jivas. So that's the kind of helper. So he knows what the Jivas need, what the Jivas deserve. So the Lord does this, the Samhara Karya itself can be thought about as a grace of God. So because he knows what is best for us. So this is how we can think about it. And another doubt that can come to our mind is, the Lord, his avatars, how he Trivida Srishti, Atma Srishti. So the Lord creates his own forms that we compare with one Deepa. So you light lamps. From one Deepa, you light another Deepa. From one lamp, you light another lamp, another lamp, another lamp. This is how the Lord's forms are kind of creates his own forms. If we give this example, people will think, oh, that means the Lord, one Deepa, you create light another lamp, both the lights are there, both Deepas are there, they're separate Deepas, they're not same, they're different. So we say the Lord's forms are all same. So, but you create multiple Deepas, that means multiple forms of the Lord, and they're all different. So Lord's one form is different from another form. This thought comes to our mind, but we all hear from Shastras, Lord's form, there is no difference. So how? That means here the example is given only to indicate that they have samana guna, samana dharmas. That's all. The example is limited. It is not because there is no laukik example that can be given to really represent the srishti, atma srishti of the Lord. We represent just one aspect, a small aspect of it, which is just as one lamp gives light, the another lamp is lit, both of them give equally the light. The previous one does not lose its ability to give the light. So that like that large forms when they are created, the earlier form does not lose anything. The infiniteness still there. So the Deepa example that we give, the infiniteness is not there. Non-difference is not there. So many limitations are there in that example. For that, we only just think about it. Okay, the Lord is infinite in each form, in each of his avatars, and that infiniteness does not come down from avatara to avatara. So that's all we can think of. Laukik examples are not possible to give, so we are not giving it. But Deepa example is meant to express only one aspect of it, not all the aspects. So with that, I conclude today's session so that you can ask any questions are there. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Hare Srinivasa. If there are any questions,